25th season, 13th year. I'm always excited at the start of a season. Lisa is somebody that I think a lot of people are going to root for. I think a lot of people are going to recognize her as Blair from The Facts of Life.
Okay.
But beyond that, she's a Survivor fan, a real fan.
It is a privilege to be out here.
Who's she going to align with? That's the big question for Lisa. Does she know the game well enough to align with somebody that she can move forward with? Because if you make a mistake and you align with the wrong person, you're dead. You can't recover.
What's going to be fun is to be on television now. My youngest pointed out, somebody who's been on television, yet I've never experienced you on television.
Artis is a guy that I think is going to have a hard time, but I root for him because this is a guy that applied 15 or 20 times to the show. The only time he didn't apply, he was treating cancer.
Once I pulled through that, ironically, the very first audition after that is the one that got me here.
This is your die-hard Survivor fan who wants to be out here, has this great spirit. How will he fit with the others? I don't know.
On who I am, the things that I've encountered in my life, and my ability to interact with people.
Dawson, as she's going by, Sarah, is kooky, unpredictable.
Winner of the only woman to win consecutive challenges, and I think the only woman to win a challenge the whole time on her season. So she's a beast, and I knew she could do it, and it was fun to watch her.
And therefore, I have no idea. I wouldn't trust her in an alliance because I wouldn't trust her to not forget what we talked about yesterday. Denise is a woman who is over 40, and that's going to be a strike against her because lately Survivor's all about the young people. But Denise is really fit and really good with people. I have a feeling if there's anybody in that category she's in of an older woman, she's the one that could make it work.
I was born ready to be here. That's really how I feel. I don't feel anxious. I don't feel nervous. I'm ready to sink my teeth into the game and really to get to know the competitors. I'm ready to see how I perform when under pressure. I think I'm going to impress myself.
Laura, super bright, pretty opinionated.
I can be a bit of a smartass.
Extremely defensive. And she would say, no, I'm not. And I think she's going to learn a lesson out here. And then she will go, oh, that's what Jeff was talking about.
I think that I'm the complete package minus the muscles. I think that, I can bring agility to the challenges, I can balance, I can build puzzles, but come on, I'm 107 pounds. I'm not bringing too much physical strength.
Michael is a huge fan, and guys like that have done very well. His biggest obstacle is going to be how he socializes.
Leave the nutty to me. I can't deal with other nutty people very well.
Anything about you that's different. Michael's gay. Some people will use that against him. If Michael can get deep into the game, he's likable enough he could win.
It's a game where you have to lie and you have to make deals behind other people's backs, and you have to misrepresent yourself from time to time. It's not a problem. I mean,
Malcolm, one of our new favorites. I hope Malcolm delivers like he did in the Philippines. He's a guy that looks like he belongs out here. He's a great competitor. He's very likable. Men like him, women like him.
Being a PE teacher means a lot to me, being on Survivor, simply because I have all of these kids who look up to me during PE, and their recess time I'm always playing games with them, so they look at me as a big kid. So it's important for me to try to keep it PG-13, but I don't know how that's going to work out. I am die-hard Survivor fan.
And his story in the Philippines was such a come-from-behind story that I think a lot of people are going to root for him to do well. Say what you want about Brandon. He was compelling.
I don't want to be with the team anymore. I just don't want it.
He couldn't stop making crazy moves.
I could not have taken this merge with her whining and crying and bawling and being a baby.
When his season was over, I felt like Brandon would never play again. So we called him and he said, listen, I've changed already. I'm not friends with my Uncle Russell anymore. I've got a whole bunch of new tattoos. And I think I've grown up a lot, and I'd like to try it again. Pete is a bit of a dark horse for me. I don't think he has it strategically to do well in this game. He's certainly strong, and I guess you keep him around for that, but I can't get a true read on him. He could surprise me and be much better at this than I think.
The noise he came with, kind of polluted it. Just enjoying this peace and quiet is great, man. I've never been anywhere more beautiful.
Shamar is bigger than life.
Your boy Jerv is a genius.
But Shamar's biggest liability is his mouth.
The guy planned it well. The belly flop, everything. I look like a genius right now. And then we win, and it's just, that's the icing on the cake. Oh, what a feast.
Jeff Kent, here's a guy who's played Major League Baseball for 20 years. So coming in, he has that going for him and against him.
Pretty well suited for someone like, for someone shorter and very well balanced like Laura. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from her. She killed it out there. She did a great job.
If somebody recognizes him and they like him, that's great. They idolize him. Or they think, dude, you had to have made millions. I like Jeff just as a competitor. He's a guy we would put on this show regardless whether he had a major league career or not. He's that tough farmer type that'll get out there and get it done. And I think he likes the strategy of the game.
That's why I've said from my time out here, you can't really underestimate anybody out here because, I mean, I would have thought that she was going to be a slam dunk beat for Brad and I, and she wasn't. I mean, it also helps to make it so people don't just see me finishing first all the time. I mean, it's not necessarily the best thing to beat everybody all the time. Being seen as beatable is not necessarily a bad thing in this game.
Dawn is everything I like about this show.
I've watched the show since season 1. My first audition was season 2. It's the equivalent of going to the Olympics for me. This game means that much to me.
Dawn understands that she made a lot of mistakes when she played. She's got a different idea on how to play strategically. She's fit enough to pull her own weight. And I think that idea of anything is possible might just come into play for Dawn this year. Carter's a big question mark. I love Carter. Carter is a super smart kid, got a great personality. But if he clams up or if he gets shy, he could be in trouble. People make impressions quickly in this game and they assess what they think about you. If it's a question mark, it's hard to lose that question mark.
My name's Carter Williams. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Kansas City. I graduated recently from college and I've been kind of in the pursuit of Survivor since graduating. I've spent a lot of nights wondering how I would play this game, you know, and until recently, until I found out I was going to be on the show, you know, it was all kind of dreaming about it. But now, you know, it's a reality. I want to play this game in a way that I'm proud of, you know, wholeheartedly. And if they vote me out, you know, because I'm playing too hard, then that's a good way to go, you know, better than getting voted out because you're lazy.
Matt is a guy that is either going to be out early because he's an outcast, or I think he's a guy that could go to the end because people will like his vibe.
Rob and myself have formed a very strong alliance, and we felt that Heidi would have been the biggest threat. So we voted Heidi out last night.
Corinne played in Gabon. She was one of the most despised people to ever play.
I do not trust Jerry.
I think it had an impact on her and made her want to come back and say, I'm more well-rounded. Let me show you the other sides of me.
Last night was a hard night. It poured. I mean, not just a little drizzle, it just poured. Did this all really happen?
Dana, I like. I root for Dana. I like her story. I like the fact that she came out when she was very young as being gay and has had to sort of fight her way through life and has made something of herself. I really like her spirit, and I hope this game doesn't overwhelm her.
I'm more of a troublemaker. I'm not malicious, but I do love to trouble. When I get bored, things start to happen.